Hi, I'm Tony with Timeless Cottage Gifts, and on my Facebook group, not mine, BB's Crafty Peeps Facebook group, she wanted to see a plethora of flowers. So this is one of the kinds I made. I made all different colors, and I'll show you, I'll just go through really quickly how I put them together. So these took the Heartfelt Creations flower foam, and I used it. I used some of it, so let me just use this piece. What I did was I stamped them on whole pieces. So here's a blue page, here's a pink page, and here's a purple page. So I'm going to make a purple flower, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Archival ink and one of their stamps, and I'm not going to put it on here because it will make an indentation. I'm going to do a couple of them to show you two different methods. So just stamp it on. I like to get it dark. The stamp part I like dark because I want to be able to see the ridges. I do color it. And let's do this one. Okay, so the center of my flower, I'm going to decide the color I want, and I think I want it to be, let's make this one pink. I'm going to use this Altenew Crisp Pink Diamond. You can use whatever color stamps you have because they, you know, it's just like coloring. You color whatever color you love the most. So I have a Tim Holtz, one of these, and I'm just gonna take the corner and go in and kind of bring in some pink. Now you can wait for this to dry, and it might, you know, be better for you. And I've also taken watercolor pencils and put it in there, and I've also put acrylic paint in there. It's whatever you feel like doing. And then I'm going to take this color, Archival Ink Majestic Violet, and this is another version of the Tim Holtz blenders, and I'm just going to color it. Now my pink didn't show up too well, my center, so maybe I should have used a contrasting color like a green or a yellow. So what I could do is here's a Prisma color. This is a green watercolor pencil. I could dip it in some water and then just make it kind of green in there. It's kind of, let's try this one. Oh, that didn't work. I don't like the way that looked. Let me just dab it off. There, that's okay now. And I just take it like, push it out. I'm going to have a different center. This is just to get some color in the middle. And you don't see a lot of it. That's why I'm not being that careful. Because the center, I'm going to put a brad. Find a, like, see, this one's yellow, and I do have yellow in the center. This one has like an orangish yellow in the center. So that's not going to matter so much. Then I take the die cut and put it on there. Match it up. And roll it through. Pull the flowers out. Now here is where I take them, and I have two methods. The first method, I'm going to put this one first, and then this one. And I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to heat them up. I'm going to push them a little closer together. And it makes them shrink. So the longer you keep this heat on, the more they're going to shrink and be smaller. So if you want different sizes on something, you can keep this on longer and your flower will be smaller. Keep it on not as long and your flower will be bigger. So I'm going to take that off and put it right here. Something like that. And then since I have green in there, I'll take a green brad. Put the brad in. And I have a green flower. The other method is an iron method. So you take your iron. I think this will be okay. And then I do have it on, right? Oh, I don't. Okay. And you take your pad right there. And you can take tweezers, or if you're afraid of the iron, you can take one of these and put it up against it. I just do this, but probably better if you put something there. And I put it there. And let it fall. Then I form it. And then I put another one there and I let it, let me get this. Gonna keep it there for a little bit longer. Let it fall. And this one. It'll go right in there. Like that. And after I do that, I put the brad in. I'm going to put another green. And it pokes right through. And there is the other flower. So, two ways using the heat that I use. There's probably a lot of other ways too. And then I take this Folk Art Extreme Glitter Hologram, an old paintbrush, and I put some on a paper plate. and I go over the leaves. This actually keeps them exactly where. Not that they would become misshapen. I don't think they will. I've had some that I didn't glitter and they never became misshapen. And so I paint the glitter on. And I'm kind of generous with it. Let that dry. Okay, the other thing that I like about Heartfelt Creations are their leaves. Their leaves are gorgeous. And I just buy the stamp and the die cut. And after I do them much the same way in green, but I don't use the floral foam. I use the heavy cardstock. It works well. And you can, with these flowers, you can use heavy cardstock. They turn out beautiful. This was just my method with the foam. And I do much the same way. But what I make sure to do is I ink up the edges. I think that makes a big difference. So I ink up every edge, and then I also glitter them. So I'll show you. Let's just take this one. And these are still wet, so I won't get those. But I made these pink ones. These I used 2 layers. And look what they look like if you were to put it on the leaves. And even better, if you're going to make a sign, say for Mother's Day, you could glue this on. Get your mother's favorite color. My mother's is purple. That's why I'm making purple. She passed away, but I still acknowledge her every Mother's Day, and her birthday's around the same time. And look how beautiful this could look, where you say best mother ever, or happy Mother's Day, or I love you, Mom. Just whatever you want to put there. And that's how I made the foam flowers. Okay, I want to show you a project that I completed with the flowers. It's gonna look a little bit like this card. What I did was I took a card base. I did a black one, and an insert. I was able to scale these. The inserts, I just printed them out on a Word document, and then you can do 2 on 1 page. And this one says, wishing you a wonderful birthday with much joy and happiness all year long. So it's going to go in here. So that's going to be the insert. The foil cover base is going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the front cover is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And so what I'm going to do, and then I took a die cut, one of these kind of banner ones. And now our flowers. If you want to flatten them out, you can take the brad and flatten them down a little bit. Add your glue. And what I also did was I printed these out on my computer, and I have this, I got this from Stampin' Up, and it's a double one, so you can do the background and the sentiment, and you just stamp them out. It's just really quick. Just gonna put it back here, and since the foil, sometimes it's harder to stick, I add glue, just a little, not a lot, and then I put it on here. Over there. And then I'll grab a sentiment, and what I do is I take my ATG gun and just do 2 strips right here, and then I'm going to stick it in here. My flowers are going to probably fall off. One of them did. There, it's got a little bit more. Okay, my card is complete. I did put the insert in and put a sticker, a little cupcake. This one, well, I would just make sure, this is in here a little crooked because I was trying to not let the flower fall off, but just wait for them to dry. The flower's on there good. It's the art glitter glue. It sticks very well. And last year I was watching Elizabeth Stahl. She was making some crazy little flowers. They're fun. And so I made some, and that's where I got the idea to paint just a regular little flower. And she took the hearts and made them into leaves, and they worked perfectly. So I got a bunch of flowers from Amazon. You could actually get them from Hobby Lobby as well. This one came from Hobby Lobby. And what I did was I took the little wooden buttons from Hobby Lobby, and the flowers, they're just like wooden flowers, and I made them into kind of like the stamens, and you just paint those green. There's one. Let's see. This one is I think it's this one. And I usually add these to my cards if they're a special card. And I put them in a plastic sleeve like I did this one, and then I'll usually put this on the back and I'll have it match the flowers. So here's a blue one to go with this card, and that's how I do it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.